I laughed, though it came out dry and broken. Surely I had misheard. The Chani did not marry humans. They conquered, enslaved, or killed. Marriage was a bond sacred to their kind, reserved for equals. But Serenia was serious. That night, as I was brought to her quarters aboard the massive Chani dreadnought, I asked her the only question that made sense. Why me? She studied me with that same violet stare, her voice low but firm. Because you defied me. Even in defeat, you looked at me without fear. Do you know how rare that is? Your people bow, break, and beg. But you stood. A mate should be strong, not only in body but in spirit. I shook my head, unable to comprehend. So you're telling me? You saw me glaring at you, and that's enough reason to marry me? Her lips curved into something that might have been a smile, or a predator's grin. Among my kind, yes. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? One moment I was a prisoner, the next, betrothed to the very woman who had led the army that crushed my people. But somewhere deep inside, beneath the fear and confusion, another feeling stirred, curiosity. The middle. Days turned into weeks. I remained at her side, no longer treated as a captive but not quite free either. Serenia introduced me to her world aboard the dreadnought. The Chani lived by codes of honor as old as their star systems. To them, war was both art and necessity. Victory brought glory not just to the individual but to their entire bloodline. And in victory, the right to claim spoils was unquestioned. Yet Serenia treated me differently from the others taken in conquest. While human prisoners were sent to labor camps or scattered across colonies, I dined at her table. I walked the vast crystal-lined halls of her ship beside her. At first, I resisted, answering her questions with sharp words, refusing to show gratitude. But she never wavered. Every time I pushed her away, she only drew closer, as though testing my resolve. One evening, she showed me the Chani way of bonding. Not through documents or ceremonies, but through shared trials. If I was to be her husband, she said, I must prove myself. Not to her people but to her. The trial came sooner than I expected. Pirates attacked a Chani supply convoy on the fringes of known space. Serenia led her fleet to respond, and to my surprise, she ordered me to stand beside her in the command chamber. This is madness, I told her as alarms blared. I'm not a soldier anymore. I can't fight your battles. You will not fight with weapons, she said. You will fight with your mind. I have seen your records, your strategies during the defense of Earth's colonies. You have insight my generals lack. Against every instinct screaming at me, I offered what advice I could. And to my astonishment, she listened. My plan worked. The pirates were driven back, their fleet shattered. When the battle ended, Serenia turned to me, her hand gripping my shoulder with fierce pride. Do you see now? You are not here because you were conquered. You are here because you are worthy. Something shifted between us that day. Her warriors began to regard me not as a spoil, but as something else, a companion chosen by their commander. They didn't all approve, but none dared challenge her. Nay. I began to see Serenia not just as a conqueror, but as a woman who had chosen me when she could have chosen anyone. Nights grew longer, conversations deeper. She spoke of her childhood under twin suns, of battles fought to defend her people, of the loneliness that came with command. And I, in turn, told her of Earth's oceans, of laughter in places untouched by war, of the ache of losing everything. The more we spoke, the less alien she seemed. The conflict. But peace is fragile in a galaxy built on conquest. News spread quickly. An alliance of human rebels and rival alien factions plotted to strike back against the Chani. Their target, Serenia herself. The night before the ambush, I overheard whispers in the lower decks. Some of her own officers doubted her decision to take me as husband. They called me a weakness, a distraction. And worse, they planned to use the coming battle to rid themselves of me. When I confronted Serena, she didn't deny it. There are those who see you as unworthy, she admitted. If they strike at me through you. Then let me fight, I said. Her eyes softened, something rare and vulnerable. If you fall, it will not only be your blood spilled. It will be my heart. The battle came swift and brutal. Rebel ships burst from the void, hurling fire across the stars. The dreadnought shook under the barrage, alarms shrieking through its halls. I fought, not with a gun, but with every ounce of cunning I had left. I coordinated defenses, rerouted power, and turned what should have been defeat into survival. But in the chaos, traitors within the crew struck. They cornered me in the command chamber, blades drawn. The human dies tonight, one spat. Before I could move, Serena was there. She fought like a storm, her twin blades cutting arcs of light through the air. When the last traitor fell, she stood over me, breath ragged, blood streaking her arm. You are not my weakness, she said. You are my strength. The ending. The rebellion was crushed, the traitors exposed. And when the fires of battle faded, Serena stood before her people, my hand clasped in hers. This man is no spoil of war, she declared, her voice carrying through the grand chamber. He is my chosen, my equal, my husband. There was silence, then reluctant acceptance. For in Chani culture, a leader's choice, made in strength, was law. Our bond was sealed not with chains or conquest, but with something far greater, choice. In the weeks that followed, I found myself no longer just a human survivor, but part of something larger. Serena and I ruled not as conqueror and prize, but as partners, two souls from different worlds, bound by defiance, tested by fire, and united in love. I often think back to that first moment, when she claimed me before all others. At the time I thought it madness, a cruel twist of fate. Now I see it for what it was. Not the end of my freedom, but the beginning of a life I never imagined, beside the alien woman who chose me not just as her prize, but as her husband.